Hi guys, my name is Adnan Hasbi and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Funny Finance Guy. In today's small little episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about the realest experience on budgeting. One of the reasons why I'm creating this episode is that I noticed that when a lot of YouTubers talk about budgeting, they talk about it as though as as long as we save, as long as we invest, and if we are disciplined, we will reach the road to wealth. And in today's small episode, I'm going to tell you something on a more personal level, whereby I did all of the following, and yet I have not reached the road to wealth, that ultimate wealth. So anyway, just a quick introduction about myself as a person. I was not born, I guess, with a silver spoon. I was not a trust fund baby, so not the most luxurious lifestyle. And I was made to work for everything. So I was born in an M40 family. And being an M40, amongst the things which I face would be number one, people that live in the city, they tend to be taxed, I think, quite significantly, especially if you work for a company. All your income will be very visible and the IRB will tend to tax us quite a fair bit. And most of our tax money from the M40 would go to the P40. That's the word. That's the way, I guess, taxes are reallocated, or the money is reallocated. And especially right now, you can see during the whole pandemic, you could see that a lot of wealth has been transferred. So that's the first thing. The government has, re-engineered the way, wealth is being transferred. That's the first thing. The second thing is that living in the city is so super expensive. I mean, to buy food, to buy water, it's so super duper expensive. When you go grocery shopping, the 100 ringgit, what used to be a lot of money today, in today's term is probably 400 or 500 ringgit. So I could feel that the value of money is slowly going down and going down. At the same time, I guess us M40s are getting taxed even higher and even higher. And despite all of that, I guess this is lesson number one, I managed to save. So this is how I managed to save. Have a strong why. I remembered many years ago when I was in audit, I used to work from 8 to maybe 8 at night. Every day, 8 in the morning, 8 at night, 8 in the morning, 8 at night. And we have these things called peak period, where we will go in the office at 8 o'clock. And sometimes we'll finish work at maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I still remember the saddest day of my life when I had to go in the office during a holiday. And as I went to the office, I remembered passing by, a mosque, and I saw a lot of people coming out from prayers. And I was wondering to myself, what day was it? And I realized it was Hari Raya. That's right, guys. It was on Hari Raya, I still had to work. And I remembered being so sad and so depressed. And from there, I had an emotional reason on why to save. And from that day forth, I promised myself I wanted to choose financial freedom. So if you want to start budgeting for yourself, have an extremely strong reason of why you want to budget. And why is it important for you to get freedom, to reach your financial goals? That's lesson number one. Have a strong why. Okay. So anyway, as time went on, and as you guys know, today after having a strong vision, after taking the small actions on a daily basis, I'm already, I guess, on my first year for my semi-retirement, whereby right now I just kind of create content helping a lot of people on financial literacy. But having said that, quite recently, about 2 or 3 days ago, one of my loved family members was hospitalized. And I remembered that the lesson number 2 over here is that despite you having your cash flows, despite you having insurance, despite you having all of your wealth and whatnot, sometimes things out of our expectations may happen. And for me, on a more personal level, one of my loved one was hospitalized, and I remembered going to the counter every day. Every day, you could see the bill increasing. It's not cheap. Medical costs over here in Malaysia, and I was looking at it, and I was really afraid, and I was really scared that I guess the money which I saved for my freedom has to be, I guess, used for I guess for health bills. And if I have to choose two and two, I will definitely choose helping a loved one. So this is lesson number two. Despite us saving all our monies, and despite us having all the safe fails, and despite us having all the insurance, sometimes things out of our expectations may happen. And this is where we may have to spend a little bit of money to, I guess, help others. So despite, I guess, the best of intentions, so this is lesson number two, despite all the intentions and despite all the savings that we make, sometimes things out of our expectations may happen. Okay. And I remembered, and yesterday night, I was just thinking about it, and I was just reflecting. I couldn't quite sleep. And I remembered having a conversation with a high net worth individual, which is one of our subs in this channel. And I asked him, how did he become, I guess, so wealthy? And he told me the coolest story in the world. He said that he was never like this before. And what really helped him was that even though when he was almost broke at certain months, he always helped his mom hospital bills and help his mom, for her upkeep and whatnot. And when he was helping his mom, what happened was other doors opened for him for his wealth. And he was never poor at that point in time. He was always wealthy. And every time when he helped his mom, he actually had different doors open for him. And he was always comfortable. And when I heard that little story and I reflected upon myself, that's true also for me, whereby there were many times when I wanted to save and save and save and hoard and hoard and hoard. But there were times when, I guess, a very close family of mine, maybe mom, my dad, my grandma, they had to go to the hospital. I was so happy to spend that money. And like I said, life works in ups and down cycles. Sometimes when we are down, there's always an up. So always remember that. And I remembered that being in this industry, there were times where oil prices shot up very high, and I guess we analysts got super duper budgets, super duper bonuses at that time. So remember, I guess the lesson over here, which I have to impart, talking to high net worth individuals and about myself, is that things work in cycles. So no matter where we are, there will always be brighter days ahead. Number one. And number two is that there is this way where the more we give, the more we get. I know it's really counterintuitive, but it also happened for me. And I just want to share you guys that the more you give, the more you get. Okay. I guess the final I guess the final lesson over here is that I was also struggling with this, and I talked to another high net worth individual, and he was telling me this really, really cool advice. He said that, sorry, a motorcycle. He said that when helping out loved ones, when helping out family members, when helping out anyone, always look at it like this. Always look at them as our mentor towards pushing us towards building a wealth so that we can take care of them eventually, right? So I used to look at me being a son as a really big burden where I had to help out with, aunts, uncles, and whatnot. But when I switched that mindset, whereby right now these guys are my mentor and my motivators towards helping me push forward and push towards being more financially independent, my whole paradigm changed. And when I look at them as the reasons and when I look at them as one of the reasons for me to improve myself, earn a little bit more. My life totally changed, and right now I look at them as, I guess, my motivators as opposed as responsibility. So I guess these are the few things I want to share with you guys. This also it's something which I hope in the future I watch this particular video, I can get motivated. Okay, so with that, I'd like to thank, I guess, you viewers out there. If you guys found this episode helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Future viewers also, if you guys found this particular episode about budgeting helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate the audience over here. I really appreciate some of the audience reaching out to me and asking for advice and sharing with me amazing stories on how they build wealth, how we can build wealth, and I'm sharing some of my experiences with you. And I know, and I'm going to share with you guys this: the more you give, the more you get. So remember, at work today, maybe give 110% and see what happens. And yeah, that's my 2 cents worth. I do apologize for all the noise and whatnot. I feel so inspired recording outside, and I'm trying to change the format of me doing things. I really appreciate you being on this live episode, and I really appreciate you future viewers watching this episode. And with that, I want to wish you guys good luck, stay safe, and always know that despite this particular crisis, there's going to be brighter days ahead. And with this crisis happening, there's investment opportunities. Always put that in mind. Always know that whatever stocks you buy right now is at a discount. And when times were to change, you will get to sell the stocks for a much higher price. So with that, guys, I'd like to thank you so very much. I'd like to thank the new subscribers, thank watchers and future watchers. With that, take care.